Tyson
No.
Fury jumped on Instagram last night, said, I'm coming back out of retirement. Give me Usyk. I can beat Usyk and Joshua on the same night. Has there been any talks with Oleksandr Usyk's team initially, straight after the fight? What can you tell me?
Well, there was talks before the fight, and Tyson, had to make his mind up. That's why I've not sort of been banging on about it. But he's made his mind up. He wants to fight. Usyk wants to fight, and we've got to work out a way to make it happen. They both know that they feel that the fight's worth a lot of money, which it is. So it's whether who knows what it might wind up. Is it going to go back to Saudi? Is it going to go somewhere else? Who knows? The one thing's for sure, there's no problem in making the fight. Both camps get on very well with each other. So there's going to be, there's no nonsense going to be going on about it. There's no different TV companies involved or nothing. It's very straightforward.
And how does Tyson Fury beat Oleksandr Usyk?
Being Tyson Fury. I was watching it last night and I felt, I like Usyk. I like what he'd done. What he did. But I feel, a real big heavyweight. I'm talking about a heavyweight who's got a good whiskers, who's got good work rate. And Joe, for example, has got good work rate. He's got a very good chin. I think he gives him a lot of problems, and I think that and I think Tyson gives him huge problems as well. I think they'd be just too big, and have too much ammunition for him.
Okay, Frank and Joe, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Any more questions? Or I'll go to Joe. Joe, you're just over a month out from your fight. How is training camp going over in Vegas?
Yeah, training camp's going well as usual. It's a place I feel happy and I'm enjoying the weather and stuff. And I've got my coach, Ismail Salas, who I started with, and UFC facilities. The same thing. So I'm just like, because I've just had the fight against Hammer, I'm already in a good place. So I can build on, I've got the cobwebs out and I can build on. And I've come into camp at a better place than where I started the Hammer camp. So, every fight I pick up and I improve and level up, get to the next level. So yeah, I'm in a good place. I started further along in and I'm working on techniques, biomechanics, and coordination with Salas, and just keeping him up in my game. I'd like to keep on improving every time I go in the gym, and also with my strength and other attributes I've been working on in the UFC facilities. So I'm in a good place.
Ryan, I believe you've got a couple of questions.
Yeah, hi guys, thanks for joining us. Joe, I'll come to you firstly. Being mentioned, if you beat Joseph Parker right at the front of the queue there to get a world heavyweight title shot. If in the meantime Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk do meet for the undisputed heavyweight title, who wins and why, in your opinion?
Well, I always thought that Tyson Fury would just slap him about because, he's the bigger man. He can also turn southpaw. So his southpaw, if he just does the whole fight southpaw, he can he's got the reach and range advantage, probably a little bit of power too. And the thing is with Tyson, he makes it, if you look at his early knockouts, he makes it, roughs them up and knocks them out in in horrible fashion. So he's got the ability of doing that. And defensively, Usyk probably won't be able to reach his head. So especially when he's leaning back on the ropes. But I think it's going to be a great fight because stylistically and technically, because I guess Usyk is also used to fighting the bigger guys. So he like in the Joshua fight, he was a lot quicker than him. And because he's used to fighting cruiserweights, they're a lot quick. Every time when you spar someone or fight someone who's a lighter weight, they're always quicker and they can see the punches coming because they're normally coming at them faster, so they can get out of the way of them easier. It's oh, here comes the punch. And I'm probably my punches, they'll be able to see them, but it's also timing goes in there as well. But not variety, but the amount of punches, the volume.
one more for you, Joe. Seen the pictures of you and Deontay Wilder the other day all over the internet. Just wondering if you could tell us a bit about those conversations. You guys talk about anything interesting?
Nah, he's just like he's good to see him again. Yeah, he's like blessings. He's he's done his little journey thing in Peru, and he's come back and he's in a good place now. He's going to have a great fight with Hellenius and that. And the UFC gym's full of boxers now. There's me, there's Deontay Wilder, there's Charles Martin is in the gym now, and also Michael Hunter. Like it's we've got our, it's like high school. We've got our like little boxing table where we all gather around and talk boxing.
Thank you for that, Joe. Frank, just a couple for you from myself. Just you mentioned there earlier on in the call before we got going that you had spoken to Tyson. We saw his videos after the fight. I was just wondering if you could tell us a bit about what Tyson said to you and how excited he is by the potential of that undisputed fight now.
Well, he said if he'd been fighting them, I think he said it publicly, he said he'd stop them both. And that's what he feels about it. I mean, I feel he'd just be listening to Joe's comments, which are they're absolutely spot on. I think with Tyson, I think it'd be too big. I think Tyson's got he's got far better hand speed than Joshua, and he moves better, and he's much quicker on his feet than Joshua. So I think he feels that he'll stop him, and I think I'll be surprised if he didn't stop him.
You mentioned there was a little bit of talk before the Joshua fight with Usyk's team, but you were kind of waiting for Tyson to decide what he was doing with his future.
It's all pointless until you got the results. So the result is in now, and now we can look to see what we can all try and do to make it work. I've got to make sure that Joe gets his opportunity, and I've done that by getting this fight on the 24th. And I'm pleased in some ways that Joseph Parker sodded us around, because he got the cobwebs out of his system in that last fight, and I think that was a good plus for him. And as he says, he's got into the gym now, and it's puts him in a better position, having getting that rust out of his system. And I just it's just going to be really interesting times. Whatever happens, if he carries on, and he said himself, Usyk, if he doesn't fight Tyson, then he doesn't want to fight anybody else. That tells you if he doesn't want to fight him, he's basically saying he retired. If he retires, then it's all thrown open wide again. And as I say, Joe, whatever happens, Joe's in a marvellous position, provided he does the business on the 24th, which I really do expect him to do. I mean, we're going to be in opposite corners, Tyson and me, on the 24th. It'll be quite interesting. Thankfully, Joe does the business in the ring, and Joseph Parker is not going to have anybody to help him once that bell goes. He's on his own, and he's in with a tough guy in Joyce.
Last one from me, Frank. Appreciate it's early days to be talking Fury-Usyk logistics, but you mentioned maybe we go back to Saudi Arabia by the time Usyk's ready. Winter months. Is the Millennium Stadium a possibility with the closed roof?
You know what? So at the moment, everything's too. All I know is you've got two parties who get on very well with each other. So there's no rival TV companies involved. It's going to be that side of it's going to be pretty easy to do, pretty easy to accommodate. It's just finding out where, because they got high expectation values of expectations of what they're going to get paid for the fight, is where it generates the money that gets them the money that they feel they're worth.
All right, guys. Thank you. Catch you soon.
Have we got any more questions from anyone? Because we've got TalkSport joining in a second, I believe, to do an exclusive. So once you guys are all done, they're going to hop on.
Yes, Matt.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah,
Who's
Matt,
that?
it's Zayed, mate.
Yes, mate. Crack on.
Cool. Can I just want to ask a question to Frank. So, how are you, Frank?
I'm good. Yourself?
Top man. Let's talk about your domestic middleweights as well. You got a cracking bill coming up on the 16th of September at your call.
Yeah, of course. Good fights.
Yeah, Denzel and Marcus. Obviously, Hamza Shiraz has been saying, on various social media sites that he has a desire to meet Denzel. Can that fight be made?
Sorry, who said they want to meet him?
Hamza.
Yeah, of
Sure
course
is.
we can. It's a great fight to make. They keep winning fights. That's a big fight between the two of them. You know, they both come from more or less the same area. Can you imagine? It'd be a fantastic atmosphere there, and it's a great fight. Them two guys are great fights. So we don't have no problems making fights between guys that we promote. You know, the winners come through, and we always work with. You know, if somebody gets beat, we don't just drop it. We carry on and work with them if they want to continue to do that. But it's a great fight down the road. Absolutely, no problem with that one.
Cool. Would you say that could be like a copper box fight?
Obviously, if we build it a bit more, you can get it into the O2 or Wembley.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Frank, for your time. Take care, mate.
You're welcome.
Any more?
Yeah, Matt, can I ask?
Go ahead.
Hi, Frank and Joe. It's Owen from Pro Boxing Fans. Frank, firstly, for yourself, yesterday we saw obviously Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua fight. What did you make of Sky Sports' promotion for that fight? Because there seemed to be not much in regards to an Anthony Joshua fight that we've seen in the past.
Well, I mean, it was quite obvious, I think, to anybody. The fact he's no longer with Sky and he's gone with DAZN. I think the biasness of the past that you normally got when he fight was it went the other way. That's how I looked at it. But look, you know, it is what it is. You know, it was no more than I expected, the commentary.
Fair enough. Joe, just a quick one for yourself. We saw Anthony Joshua link up with Robert Garcia for the first time. Did you see improvements in his game under Robert Garcia and Angel Fernandez?
Yeah, I think he started to do a little bit more, like more offensive, back to the offense, and a bit more of like the old Joshua. But I thought he did well, and he's improved like since the last fight, and he looked like he was, you know, gave it his all, and you know, did the best he could in there.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it from me, Matt.
But yeah, apparently he's been working him for longer than was announced as well. So he's had a bit more time with him, and I think that's his first heavyweight that he's been training. So, but he has that kind of more of offensive style